Can you hear me? Am I coming in clear? Let me know. Any problems? It's been a while. We haven't been able to do this. Welcome in everybody for a post race of Richmond, our first NASCAR race in what? I want to say basically 3 weeks. I mean, yeah, I know it's like 2 week break, whatever, but yeah, awesome. We sound good, everyone, and of course we got Daniel Dye, which we'll talk about in a moment. Let's get on into the playoff grid really quick, and then we can go over the race itself. They're interviewing playoff drivers right now as we're going. So this is your grid as of now. This is how we're lining it up for when we go back racing in 2 weeks, and then wait another 3 weeks. And I think after that we do race the very next week because it's Kansas, which I'll be at. So Corey Heim, 2,041 points. He will be your leader heading into the Truck Series playoffs. And you got Christian Eckes, -3. Ty Majeski, -18. Nick Sanchez, -23. Raja Caruth, -32. Grant Enfinger, -34. Tied with Tyler Ankrum, -38 for Taylor Gray, -39 for Ben Rhodes. And Daniel Dye, yes, Michael Waltrip will be very happy. There he is. Mikey, very happy, -40. But I want to thank you guys for super chats. We will read those after we go over the race itself. But let's talk about the race itself, and then I can put on top the ticker. I swear, we're going to turn over a new leaf after the off break here, after the Olympic break. We're gonna make sure that I don't screw up as much, because we know I'm going to screw up, but at least not as much. But this was a 2024 Clean Harbors 250. 250 laps for 2 hours, 25 minutes, 18 seconds, 7 leaders, 12 lead changes, 9 caution flags on the night. And Ty Majeski was your winner. And let me double check. Oh, cool. I picked him. So I got my pick right tonight. Ty Majeski gets the win over Christian Eckes by 0.936 seconds on the night. Taylor Gray coming home with a third place run. Grant Enfinger in fourth. And Lane Riggs, a very solid run for Riggs. Good at short tracks. Just not good enough to catch up at the end there. We'll talk at the end, though. That solid battle in the last 20 or so laps. Like, I was thinking that, like, old Richmond had come out to play. Like, the action track had come out to play. Oh, is there buzzing? Hold on. Is the mic really bad? I saw one comment from Blue Jimmy. I just want to make sure I'll turn it down a little bit. That way at least the buzzing won't be so bad. But if not, I'll work on fixing that. Sounds like Rice Krispies. Wonderful. Fucking wonderful. 3 weeks off, and so some say it sounds good, others say it sounds like marbles and Pop Rocks. Think of other things that'll pop. It might just be something we'll have to put up for tonight. I promise it will be fixed. Chipmunk is munching on it. Yeah, I'll be sure to fix it on up. But let's go through the finishing order here. I'll make sure not to peak the mic as much. How about that? We'll talk normal. We got after the top three, we got Enfinger in fourth behind Taylor Gray in third, Riggs in fifth, Ankrum in sixth, seventh is Rhodes, then Dye in eighth, ninth is Dylan, and I will see that super chat in a moment, I promise. Ty Dillon, a solid top 10 run, something we don't see all too often, and then Hall, we got Connor Hall with a top 10 run tonight in the 91. Stephen Parsons, 11th. 12th is Tanner Gray, who just misses out. Then you got Jake Garcia in 13th. Caden Honeycutt, 14th. 15th, Matt Crafton. And Corey Heim falling back at the end to a 16th place finish. Raja Caruth in 17th. 18th is Lawless Allen. Timmy Hill in the 19th spot. And 20th, Chase Purdy. After that, we got William Sawalich was, let's see, nope, yeah, they moved him. So Brett Holmes in 21st and William Sawalich in 22nd. Last truck on the lead lap. 1 lap down for Bailey Curry and Spencer Boyd as well. And then 2 down for Friesen, 3 down for Massey and Carroll, and Maggio 4 laps down in the 28th spot. The rest of these trucks out. 29th, Connor Zilich. 30th, Nick Sanchez. Connor Jones in 31st. 32nd, Dean Thompson. Thad Moffitt ARCA braked his way into a 33rd tonight. 34th, Keith McGee. Matt Mills in 35th. And Jerry Bowman comes home last, 36th on the night. And with that as well, he was parked. I don't know if and Fox probably didn't cover it. At least I didn't hear him cover it. He was parked for going too slow. Yeah, it was a rough night for Fox, but when is it not? Anyway, let's look into the race itself. I will read the super chats at the end of us talking about this race. As I see on the TV, Ty Majeski and others in red construction hats. That's interesting. Anyway, so let's go through stage 1 really quick. The first 2 stages I think are pretty easy to go over. It's pretty quick, honestly. Eckes wins the pole, leads early. Majeski gets past him. Not that Fox really cared. Wasn't like they really covered it all that much. I know people commenting I'm a babyface. I know. There'll be even more babyface on Monday for the NWP shootout on IDK Players channel. Should be a lot of fun. And while we're letting that go, let's also, where'd it go? I had it. There it is. There you go. I didn't forget this time. Solid. All right. Hold on one second. I'm just, what the one downside of me being the one to run my own stream is that I have to run everything. Anyway, really not much happened the first 50 or so laps. Matt Mills would crash in 3, bringing out a very bad strategy. I tell you what, Ty Majeski won, but it's not because of all the decisions tonight. It's more in spite of them. Starting with the fact that he was one of the top 3 that stayed out on 50 plus 60-ish lap tires for the final restart of stage 1. Fell like a rock. And with that, Eckes would lead the way. The worn tire guys fell extremely fast at the back. Eckes wins over Taylor Gray, Enfinger, Rhodes, and Riggs. Then Dye, Crafton, Heim, Sanchez, and Raja. And I'll just say this. Daniel Dye with that tied it up. I mean, it was pretty clear after how he was running tonight versus Gray that he was more than likely to make it in without some tomfoolery taking him out. So that, again, stage 1, pretty on par with normal Richmond, I would say. Ty Majeski would have an uncontrolled tire in the pits then, that next one, so he'd have to go to the tail of the field. Again, I'm saying he won tonight, but it was not because of decisions or what happened. It was in spite of which. So yeah, I love the give your best delusional Michael Waltrip Daniel Dye take. While I'm looking, I give me your best delusional Daniel Dye take that Mikey would, well, you could hear Mikey saying. I want to see the best one because my God, tonight I think I heard Daniel Dye's name more than anybody out there, and he ran well. Credit to the guy. He ran well. He ran well enough to make the playoffs as is. You know, it's a truck playoff, so we could probably make it far. But I'd love to see what you got. Let's see. Take a shot every time you hear Danny die. I would die. Look at Danny Dye go past the grass to avoid Lawless Allen's wreck. Oh man, Daniel Dye is eliminated. Mikey. Daniel Dye, first ballot Hall of Famer. And the thing is, like, I don't mind him. It's just funny hearing Michael Waltrip constantly say it. Would you die or die? Fair question. I think I'd I. Let's see. I'm not gonna read that most recent one, but that's pretty good. Oh my god, these are great. You guys are funny. Keep them rolling as I get on into the second stage here. We get restart on lap 80. It's the 19-17 up front. Eckes, of course, gets fast out with the lead. He was pretty good in the early parts of runs. But Grant Enfinger would make it past him in this. And then Taylor Gray would pass Enfinger for the lead before a caution came out for Matt Crafton going around. Matt Crafton missing the Truck Series playoffs this year. Just overall not a good year for him, obviously. But I would also say that overall ThorSport has been way off this year. From what you would expect of them. You expect them to be a championship level organization in the Truck Series. And yes, they did get Ty Majeski in. They did get Ben Rhodes in. But Ben Rhodes has not been running all that well. Ty Majeski struggled early in the season compared to how we expected him to run. If you remember, it was pretty much the Eckes-Heim show for the majority of the regular season early on, until Majeski started, that team started getting better. It looks like the short track side, they figured some stuff out. And wow, I just saw a young Kevin Harvick on TV, and damn, Keelan looks just like him. Like spitting image. Sorry, had to comment on that. But just a very slow start for Majeski. He is definitely the one that is carrying the team right now. I'll say that. But anyway, that Crafton is out of the playoffs this year. And as we keep the Mikey, fake quotes going, I love it. Everyone pits except for the top three. They fall back immediately. Enfinger takes the lead. And it was pretty clear at this point, like, don't stay out on tires. All right? Don't do it. Because you're just going to fall right to the back. I like the fact that tires matter that much. I know people are like, well, it matters too much. We should, they should make maybe a harder tire so that there can be a little give here or there. I'm like, no. I don't want to complain about tire wear when, in a lot of cases in the top three series, mostly I would say trucks and Cup, we have this issue of tire wear not mattering, of it being difficult to go back and forth through the field. No, I do not mind it at all. I like it. God, I'm sorry. I keep getting distracted in the chat. For those that don't have the chat up, you might be watching on TV. The chat is absolutely hysterical tonight, and I absolutely love it. But the end, stage 2, Enfinger wins over Eckes. Danny Dye finished third in the stage. 8 stage points. Mikey's happy. Lane Riggs in fourth. Fifth is Corey Heim. Rhodes, Raja, Ankrum, Taylor Gray, and Connor Jones, the top 10 in this stage. And then we get to the final stage where it becomes the Truck Series again. We get it restarted. Enfinger is up front, but that's not really what matters. We get a big-ass wreck, probably about 6 or 7 trucks. Really long yellow flag out of it as well, I will say. Not the greatest. And yeah, I did see that they showed Sawalich playoff eligible when he wasn't, and Jamie Little fell for it. That probably happens more when you're not at the track. But well, what do I know? I'm only the clientele base. I'm only the customer. I don't matter. But this big crash here. Had a long yellow flag after it. But the funny part for me is when you watch that crash, when you watch that big crash back, you see Thad Moffitt just fly on in there, ARCA braking it right into the wreck. I mean, he's probably 5, 6, 7 car lengths behind, or truck lengths behind everybody else. And you see everybody fly in, and then you see him fly in. And it's like, bro, just get off. He locks up the brakes. It's like, dude, just get off the brakes. Get off the brakes, man. Like, that's all you got to do. Get off the brakes. Then get it back under control and go down or something. I know it's easy for me as somebody who's not a race car driver to say, but it's just kind of, it was bad. It was really, really bad. But it was funny. I will admit, it's been a while since I've seen some real good ARCA brakes, and that was funny. Yeah, I mean, it was like Jen Joe Cobb at Talladega in 22. I won't say maybe to that degree. I think she tried to just like gas it up into there. We got Michael Waltrip in the chat. I'm stuck in the Charlotte studio. Help me. Oh no, Mikey got lost. He got lost in the maze. Does anyone think the Fox booth overdoes the Daniel Dye cam? Yeah. That's the running joke tonight. Anyway, they get it back restarted again, and it's not long before Lawless Allen goes around, which I don't think any of us were too surprised by. Restarted again, the 9 and the 99 up front. Enfinger at the end of this race probably had, I won't say the best truck. I think that was Majeski, but outside of Majeski, the best truck out there. And a lot of people felt bad for him. I do not blame them. It was just a rough night to be up front at the end. But he was pretty dominant. But we had a restart violation from Connor Zilich, who I won't say it was flawless tonight. Definitely not flawless, but was very solid. It was solid all night that he was out there. A few mistakes here and there, but I'm expecting those, you know. Young driver, if he's making those mistakes in 5-6 years, yeah, panic time. Even like next year, if he's making that kind of mistake more than maybe once in a blue moon, okay, like maybe address it. But I'm not worried. It's a young driver, development, all that. You have some pit when Connor Jones is slow on track. Caution comes out. The 1171, and we see on the ensuing restart that Corey Heim is just charging up the board. He gets to the lead with 30 to go. Only a couple laps later, Honeycutt is spun. Everyone pits except for Sawalich, who's on 2 tires. Sanchez is also stopped on track, ends up going out for the night. And we get it restarted with 20 laps to go. They make a bunch of contact into the corner. So it's the 1 and the 9 up front in the front row. It's Sawalich on 2 tires. It's Enfinger next to him on 4. Behind him is Ty Majeski. And I don't know, the broadcast really didn't make too much out of it. But the big reason that those two, the 9 and the 1, got together, which opened the door for Majeski to get by and get the win, is because Majeski kind of sent the 1 in. Like, he didn't send him to the point that he's going to completely overshoot the corner, but just enough to go up the track. And the 1 and the 9 just come together. 98 flies by, and you're thinking at that point, I mean, I think he had maybe a 1.4, 1.5 second lead. When the caution comes out for Zilich going around off of Holmes, caution comes out with that, and we get it back racked up with 8 laps to go. This was pretty awesome because up front, we have a bad restart from Majeski. I think he spun the tires or something. He manages to stay side by side, gets into the 9 truck. So the 9 is almost facing the outside wall for a moment. And, well, they keep it together. They race about 2 laps, basically 4 wide at different points. At one point, it's the 98, the 9, the 38, and the 19, basically 4 wide, all next to each other, running for the lead. Majeski gets out in front of it, and the battle for second was pretty damn awesome at the end. Looking at the way that they finished up, I mean, Eckes, Taylor Gray, Grant Enfinger, Lane Riggs, all kept swapping positions. Tyler Ankrum was right up there with them. It was just very, very good short track, solid racing. It's what I want to see tomorrow night out of the Cup. Guys, I want to see that tomorrow night. Don't care what tires they have to use to get there. That's what you want to see. And I know that this race wasn't great by any means, in the sense that, like, you know, all-time banger. I'm gonna remember it was way better than last year's truck race. And I want to see in the chat, out of 10, 10 being the best truck race you've ever seen, 1 being last year's Phoenix finale. What'd you think of this race? I'll give it a solid 7.5, maybe an 8 if I'm feeling generous. I want to see what you guys think. What you guys think. I thought it was a very solid night. It got a little trucky in there, not crazy, not horribly crazy, but there was a good amount of passing through the night that I don't think we normally see out of Richmond, and we don't see in a clean way out of trucks. But 7.5 is kind of where I'm at right now. I can be swayed either way depending on what mood I'm in. But it seems like we're kind of all there. It was solid is the word that we're using. Cup will be a sleeper. I hope so. I really do hope so. I know a lot of people want me to rip on the booth too much. It's the same problems that every remote broadcast for trucks on FS1 has. I like the tire strategies in this race. Yeah, Michael in the chat said, it's correct. Like, there were a lot of strategies to follow, and I like that. I like that out of my racing. Let's look at the super chats really quick before we end this baby out. Mr. Penguin for the 10. This was during the race, by the way. I want to let people know before I read it. Says, I know that we still have a few laps to go, but I have been really impressed with Zilich this race. The way he is patient and doesn't push things looks like he still needs to learn the NASCAR restart styles. Yeah, there's going to be growing pains, but overall, I thought he was solid tonight. Very good base, I would say, to build off of. Needs a lot of work, but he's a young driver. What young driver doesn't need a lot of work? Michael Waltrip in the chat for the 243. First super chat from Mikey. Says, Danny Die. I'm not shocked. And then M. Martin Fan for Life for the 5. The crap Fox coverage is going to kill the truck series. Booth, cameras, production are all garbage. And I will say the pit were still pretty good. I thought the pit guy and gal were pretty good today or tonight. But yeah, overall coverage, it's truck series coverage on FS1. It's what we expect. That's going to do it. We'll be live tomorrow night on this channel after the Cup race. I will fix the mic issues. I might just spend all of tonight, other than when I run, and tomorrow working on it. And if I can't fix the buzzing, I'll order another mic. I don't know. We'll be live also on my channel Wednesday night for NWP. We'll have John Ramos on there. Should be a lot of fun. And through the week on Monday on the IDK Player channel, we'll have the NWP shootout and the duels on Thursday. I'll be co-commentating. Should be a lot of fun. Cannot wait. But thank you guys and gals so much for watching. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night. And until next time, have a good one. Night, y'all.